Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the McGonagall Boxing Podcast. So the dust has settled on Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk for the Undisputed in Riyadh last weekend, and I wanted to just sit back for a few days, think, because I was very emotional at the time, and just reflect before getting out this podcast. So, but I think from now on I'm just going to deliver straight away, because I think that's what ultimately gets the views when you speak from a place of passion. But I'm very disappointed in many ways. Listen, I'm a huge Tyson Fury fan, but I'm also a big fan of Alexander Usyk, who is a fantastic fighter and, more importantly, a fantastic man. What he's doing for his people of Ukraine at this difficult time is more than commendable, and he deserves the utmost respect from everyone. Also, I admire the fact that, his size is significantly smaller than the likes of Joshua and Fury, and he's competing and he's beating them. So that demands huge respect of me and for the boxing fans out there. But I can't deny my favourite boxer is Tyson Fury. I relate to him. I admire his comeback story. I admire his skills and I admire his personality. It's not for everyone. I accept that. Certainly his father's not for everyone, but I don't judge someone by their father or their mother, and I don't think anyone else should really either. I mean, he's his own man, and I think Tyson Fury is real, and I don't think there's a lot of people real, especially in celeb culture today. They're very fake, very false. He just spits it as it is, and I really admire that. And to come back from where he was, almost suicidal and 30 stone, fantastic story. However, let's get to the boxing facts on Saturday night. The first round, I thought, my goodness, what is Tyson Fury doing? He's boxing Usyk's fight. He's letting Usyk take the middle of the ring. He's letting Usyk bully him, batter him. I couldn't understand it. I thought Fury would be strong. I thought he would literally rough and tough, a bit like Chisora did to Usyk. I thought he wouldn't let Usyk take that centre ring. He'd push him on the back foot, a bit like Holyfield did to Tyson. And then let's see how good Usyk is. But no, he backed off. Very punchy input, was quite slow. It was quite weak. And I thought, my goodness. And Usyk caught me with a crisp left hand. And I thought, if this carries on, Usyk's going to knock him out. And it'll be early. But credit to Fury. I didn't see it coming. I put on Twitter, X now, after the first round, Fury's going to get battered boxing like this. He cannot outbox or outspeed Usyk. This is the one fighter he can't do it. He's used to playing with slow, cumbersome heavyweights. Usyk is anything but. He's quicker than Fury. He's actually got better boxing skills than Fury. Not a whole lot, as the fight proved, but better. So I said, what on earth is he doing? He needs to rough and tough. And of course, Fury's so good, he can fight any styles. He can do the Wilder style of the 2 and 3 fights, or he can do the Klitschko fight, where it's, boxing, jabbing and moving. Although, admittedly, at 35, can he do it quite as effectively? I'm not sure he can for 12 rounds, but he can still do it. But somehow, from round 2, the middle of round 2, I thought, oh, goodness me, come on, Tyson. He got battered, I think, for a round and a half. But then he started to time Usyk. He started to gauge the distance. He started to see the traps Usyk was laying. He started to realise, okay, he's jabbed me to the body. And that's what I was worried about. I thought, God, Usyk's going to batter Fury's body and then catch him upstairs. Turned out he did in the end. But I thought, come on, Fury, read this. And he did. He kind of nullified Usyk's jab by taking a step back and realising his reaches could still get Usyk's, but Usyk couldn't get him anymore. And then he started timing him. And what the most effective shot, and no one has said this, when you're fighting a smaller fighter, the uppercut. I mean, that's what even Tyson, the great Tyson, was vulnerable to. And we saw that in Douglas fights. We saw that in the Vanna Holyfield fights. And to be fair, we saw that in the pre-fights. Even Bruno caught him with a punch, a beautiful uppercut. So, a smaller fighter has to come in, has to close the distance. And they're coming from a lower reach, of course, a lower distance. So they're always susceptible to an uppercut. And I mean, Fury started to really hammer that home. And obviously the body attacks were key for Fury. But he started to jab more, which was good. He jab, body, uppercut. And he just, he got the range, he got the distance. And he started to take over. And I was getting excited. This was a thing of beauty. And I had him shading I mean, all right, arguably you could see it otherwise, and this is why the debate is about the draw or the win. Some people give Usyk round 2. I can't argue with that. I had Fury shading that for a 1-all. But what cannot be debated for shading is he then took over. I mean, he started to really start showing his supreme skills because he gauged that distance. He gauged Usyk's what he was doing, his punch rhythm, his punch pattern. And he started to realise, I'm going to take your jab away from you by taking a step back. I'm going to use my own jab. And that's one thing Fury, simply because of his size, has got over Usyk, is his jab. And I thought, this is a masterclass. And then in round 6, he caught Usyk with a beautiful uppercut. Beautiful. And I thought, come on, Fury, knock him out now. This is your chance. Usyk looked the most hurt I've ever seen him. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I know he got buzzed against Joshua in their second fight. But this was big. And I thought, stop him. And for some reason, I mean, he hit Usyk with a few nice body shots afterwards. But he didn't go on to him like he did against Wilder. He didn't lean on him and club him and punch him. I thought, what are you doing? Get onto him. Don't let him breathe. Had he swamped Fury there, like Chisora did in the first couple of rounds, mauled him, grabbed him, punched him, elbowed him, but he would have stopped Usyk. I'm 100%, or I can't be 100%, 95% sure of that. Usyk was in a world of trouble. And of course, he's smart. He covered up. He tried to dance around the ring. And Fury let him. That was the big mistake. And I said to my brother who was watching the same, he needs to stop Usyk because Usyk is a boxing genius. He doesn't get tired. He lives the life. He's not like Fury who's been up and down, drinking and partying. He lives the life. He's disciplined. He doesn't get tired. He comes on stronger in the second half of the fight, as we saw. He'll make adjustments and he'll come back. So you've got to stop him before he does that. And so, of course, round 7, again, I thought, this is good. Fury's still dominating. And then out of nowhere, this was the disappointment for me, was, of course, the fact that round 8, he started to showboat. You know, Fury started to get a little bit too comfortable. He got too near. He started to kind of think, okay, I can do what I want with you. I can play with you like a cat plays with a mouse. You know, he started to, use his repertoire. But what happened, the big mistake, and it was there to see for everyone, is suddenly he allowed Usyk to close that distance again. He stopped using his jab. He stopped using the uppercut. He stopped going to the body so much. He just started to play around like it was, Sephra from 2018 or something, or Chisora in his last fight. This is the problem. Fury's had too many easy fights recently, barring the Wilder fights. And that's the problem. So he's got into that habit of playing around and losing concentration. And he's always had that issue. He can be winning a fight, Fury, but because he's a showman and he's very, very confident, he loses concentration. In the Wilder first fight, dominating, gets caught, doesn't he? Round 7, bang, over he goes. And this is the problem. Again, the Kasib Cunningham fight, cruising, gets caught round 2, and suddenly it's a dogfight. He switches off. And again, in an elite level, you cannot switch off. As much as Klitschko used to bore me to death at times, I have to admire the fact he never switched off. Under Manuel Stewart, of course. Pre-Manuel Stewart, my God, did he. And he got knocked out because of it. But he learned. Manuel Stewart got him to that iron robotic state where for 12 rounds he was disciplined. And the ultimate symbol of that was when he fought David Haye. He didn't switch off for 1 second. And he battered Haye. And that's what Fury's got to do. I don't know if it's in his personality, though, if he can do that for 12 rounds. But my God, he showed skills and he was dominating Usyk. But credit to Usyk. He saw Fury switch off. He saw Fury allow him to get inside. And that was it. He timed him. He hit him with a crisp left hand, broke his nose, cut him over the eye, and that was it. Suddenly, I said there and then, watching the fight, this fight's over. And I know everyone's got the Lord Mayor's show afterwards. Oh, yeah, of course you said that. I said that because you cannot. Like, as soon as I saw Fury pouring his eye, holding his nose, he was more concerned with that than fighting Usyk then. His biggest opponent was the blood. And I said, you cannot fight someone of the class of Usyk with one eye. It's not going to happen. And I said, he's banging trouble now. It's survival mode. And against Usyk, that's a place you don't want to be. And of course, from then on, he abandoned a jab. It was survival mode. And of course, in round 9, same thing. Closed the distance too much. Seeing the punches late because of the eye, because of the blood. and he got caught with a Chris left hand, which staggered him. And listen, he was out on his feet. There's no question about it. 12, 13 unanswered punches. The only thing I can give Fury credit for is a horrendous round for him was the heart he showed, not going down. And yeah, some people say the ropes kept him up, whatever, but he still tried to stand and fight. And he didn't go down. And you know what? Credit to him. He still told the ref, bring it on. And all these Fury haters that have never done anything in boxing, you know, they need to show that man respect because, this, that. Listen, everyone's got caught. You could show memes of Joshua being knocked out, being staggered on the ropes, completely out in round 12 in the Usyk first fight, couldn't you? But people don't do that. It's because they hate on Fury. But I don't care because they're not going to go down in history. They're not going to remember like Fury's remembered. So haters hate for a reason because they can't achieve what they've achieved ultimately. So I ignore the social media posts, and you got these clueless fools. To be honest with you, like G-Man Boxing. You go on his YouTube, a little weasel on a sofa, a little Irish guy, never boxed around in his minute. Never boxed around a second of his life, stays in front of his TV all night and crediting saying Usyk battered him. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It was a nip and tuck fight, which Usyk got dominated for 6 rounds. You know, he was banging trouble up to round 8 and then he turned it round. So put some respect on Fury's name. But anyway, I digress. I have to give Usyk credit though. He didn't give up. And you saw in the corner, after round 7, they were clueless. He was beaten, he was blooded, and he kissed the crucifix. Like, this was my last hurrah. Please, Lord, give me strength. I don't know what to do. He looked like he was being played with. And he had Eddie Hearn. I don't always agree with Eddie Hearn, but he said it exactly. He said like a man versus a boy. And then somehow Fury switched off. He allowed Usyk in. And credit, Usyk never, ever gives up. He always tries to find a way. He's always trying to adapt. He's trying to look for that opening. And his cardio's off the scale. It's better than Fury's. And this is the problem Fury's got to work on. He just keeps coming, and he got his reward in round 9. And yes, there's no question, you know, all these haters, it would have been stopped, like David Haye, the man who got knocked out by Bellew twice, the man that bottled it against Klitschko, the man that's busy living up on the beach now, no really irrelevant, Mr. Irrelevant. He would have stopped him, Who cares? Okay, yes, possibly, but it didn't. The bell got stopped. Like many times, many fighters, like Devin Haney got saved by the bell. Like Floyd Mayweather even got saved by the bell against Madonna when he caught him Chris right at the end. It's all relevant, isn't it? You know, it's boxing for a reason. 3-minute rounds. Yes, the bell probably did save Fury. I'm not going to deny that at all. But guess what? Hook or by crook, he survived that round. And guess what? He came back 10, 11, 12. And for me, won the round 11, 12. And his powers of recovery are unbelievable. But no question about it. Usyk dominated 10 because Fury was clearly still buzzed, getting his whereabouts. 11 was more competitive, but again, Usyk dominated in terms of, taking the front foot. And I said, Fury needs to step it up. It's almost like he was trying to coast. Hang on, I can win this. But then in round 12, he got it back. I gave that to Fury. Caught Usyk again with a beautiful uppercut. And personally, and I'm not just saying this, I mean, both fighters at the end of that fight were convinced they'd won. And I said it could go either way. It could go either way because I knew it was a fight of 2 halves. But I had Fury winning by 1 round. And I'll tell you exactly how I scored it. Usyk round 1, no question. And I thought this is a dominant round 1. But not a 10-8, a 10-9. And then I had Fury, this is probably the swing round. I had Fury just shading that for the second half of the fight round. So that's 1-1. Then clearly for me, 3, 4, 5 and 6 for Fury. So I had to have him 5-1 up. Then I had him win round 7, which was more competitive, but definitely Fury round 6-1. And that's when the tide started to turn. Usyk caught him, broke his nose. Again, Fury started that round well, but he got complacent. And he, end of it, I was like, goodness, he's got to be careful here. I said that, 6-2. And then, of course, lo and behold, round 9 happens. That's a 10-8 round. So, obviously, you close the gap to 6-4. That's a 10-8 round, no question. And then, round 10 happens, Usyk, 6-5. Round 11 happens, Usyk. Again, Fury starting to get his way back in, but he's not doing enough. He's almost like he thinks he's won the fight. Just got to hold on. 6-all. And then the big last round, which I think Fury, again, buzzed Usyk a few times. The uppercut goes without question for me, Fury. For the 114, 113 win. I scored it exactly like the first judge did. Now, you got some fanboys going, oh, that's outrageous. I could see a draw. I really could. I could see a 1 point win for Usyk. I cannot see it 115-12. I cannot stand here and go, Usyk won that by 3 rounds. Cannot. So, let's do it again. Let's bring it back. And again, I agree with Antonio Tarver. If that round 9 doesn't happen, I know it's a big if, but if it doesn't happen, Fury cruises that. He cruises that to a comfortable unanimous decision, a bit like Klitschko used to do. I said this is a cruise mode now, and I think Fury thought that. This is a cruise mode, but he doesn't realise he's fighting greatness in Usyk. He's fighting an undisputed champion, he's fighting for his people, who never gives up. He's not, a come and grab the cash mode. He doesn't believe he can't ever win. He does. And this is the problem. Round 9 happened, and it completely swung the fight for the next, 3 rounds? And the fact it was a 10-8 round is a biggie. So, listen, Fury can win the rematch. Usyk quite rightly starts as favourite because he's just going to rock up and do Usyk. But what's interesting is they both know they can hurt each other now. I think Fury's going to be kicking himself going, I should have put the pressure on in round 6. I had him out there. I've got to use my size more. And he has. He can't let a 6'3", 220-pound guy push back a 6'9", 270-pound guy. It can't happen. He's got to take the centre of the ring. He's got to use his size. He's got to bully Usyk. If Chisora can do it at 6'3", 250 pounds, Fury can certainly do it at 6'9", 270. He's got to be more dominant. I think he's got to use the Kronk style more. Yeah? I think he's got to have listen, that corner was a shit show. There's no question. Andy Lee is a phenomenal coach. Okay, and obviously Stewart is a fantastic coach. Yeah, what you can't have is John Fury screaming over the both of them. Can't have that. Cannot have that. Because he's shouting one message, boxing, the other two are saying put it on him. So Fury's caught between a rock and a hard place. I wanted to see Fury, a bit like Usyk did, switch his styles. I'd like to see him box sometimes, and I'd like to see him put it on him, Wilder style sometimes. That's what he needed to do. He couldn't just stay at one style, which he did do. He's got the ability to mix up. When you fight someone as great as Usyk, you've got to constantly show him different looks. Fury can switch orthodox to southpaw. He can do that as well. Switch it up, but really take the centre of the ring. And, I would say for the majority of the fight, put it on Usyk. Don't let him breathe. Hurt him with the uppercut. Hurt him to the body. Suffocate him. Grab him. Maul him. Don't let him turn into a boxing match where Usyk's taking the centre of the ring, because you've got no chance. And you're going to get caught on the back foot, leaning back, and he's going to catch you. And he could knock you out again. So, it's a real 50-50 fight, the rematch. I mean, Usyk could easily knock Fury out now. He knows that. But I think Fury can also knock Usyk out. And it's going to be a great fight. And it all depends on how organised Fury is with preparation, his corner. And I'm actually a big fan of John Fury. I know people... Listen, the headbutt before fight was inexcusable. It was appalling, and he deserves to be reprimanded and fined. He's lucky he's not locked up for that in prison. But besides the sideshow that goes on always fight week, he's actually an intelligent man. And he speaks a lot of wisdom. But he cannot get involved in the corner like he was, shouting and screaming. Like I say, let the main two do their thing. Yeah, they know what they're talking about. They're great trainers. But I think, like I say, Fury's got to be more aggressive. I think he's got to go in that mindset. I've got to stop Usyk. I don't think he's going to win a points decision against Usyk. And I think the judges will probably lean against Fury as well, if I'm being honest with you. So he has to go in that mindset, a bit like Wilder. I've got to stop him. I've got to stop him. And I've got to try and stop him early, because Usyk gets better and better and better. But he's also got to be aware. He's got to have his own gas tank. He's got to be switched on as well. Okay, if I don't stop him, I've got to be switched on for 12 rounds. My cardio's got to be on point. I've got to keep that range and distance. When I'm not mauling him, when I'm not on that front foot putting on him, when I'm trying to box him, which there will be times, I need to be that distance away, where my jab's effective, his is not. I can't let him get in close. I can't let him get in close, as the famous Shao Sonnen quote is. Yeah? You can't let him get in too close, because he will kill you with that left hand. He's killed everyone with it. Knocked Bellew out, had Joshua out on his feet, and he had Fury out on his feet with it. So a lot of changes need to be made from Fury. I think he's got to realise this is the hardest fight of his life. This could well be the last fight of his life. This could be Usyk's last fight. This is what makes it so interesting. At 36 and 37, it almost is the last hurrah. So I think if Usyk wins, there's no question he's the greatest of the era and goes out in the Hall of Fame. I think he's already a Hall of Fame fighter now, of course. But if Fury wins, my God, he's back right up with the all-time great heavyweight, which I think he is. As long as he stays switched on, show your greatness, stay switched on for 12 rounds. And I believe he can stop Usyk. But if he can't, then at least he's going to win, I believe, even if he doesn't get the decision, comfortably on points. He was cruising had that round 9 not happened. Antonio Tarver, multiple world champion, spot on with that. Let me know what you guys think anyway. It's a great fight. It's a great style. What a great fight. And people don't give that though. If everyone thought it was going to be a bit of a chess match, a bit of a standoff boxing exhibition, it was anything but, was it? Both of them was slick, quick, but aggressive. And I thought Fury fought well. We just switched off. And Usyk credit, he fought well. He was getting dominated though. There's no question about it. But he upped it. People forget that though. The likes of Tony Bellew, he won. Groves, he won. No, he was getting dominated. Many thought he was going to get stopped. It was a tale of two fights, that. Credit for Usyk coming back in the end. He was getting battered, though. Credit to Fury for the first half of the fight. And credit for showing immense heart for staying in that and winning the final round. But he's got to stay switched on. He cannot have sleep modes like he did against Wilder and now against Usyk. He's got to stay switched on for 12 rounds. I'm going to lean towards Fury for the rematch. I hope my heart's not raw in my head. I try and be objective, but Usyk can easily win that rematch as well. It's a great fight between two great fighters, but Fury has to show his size and presence in that rematch and cannot let Usyk take the centre of the ring. Great fight. I can understand a draw. I can understand even one round for Usyk. I had it 114, 113 Fury. Many did, many didn't. But bring on the rematch. Listen, what we do know is far more competitive than Joshua Usyk. Far more competitive. I didn't really want to see a Joshua rematch. I thought Usyk completely outclassed him in the first fight and could have stopped him, let's be honest, had that bell not rung 10 seconds early in that final round, which was, no one talks about that. That was scandalous. But for all the heart Joshua showed, but this was two of the best heavyweights in the world, two elites, and I want to see the rematch. Let's get it on. Can't wait. I think it's going to be November. It's not going to be October. They both need time to recover. But I'm excited, looking forward to it. And I'm going to lean Fury 60-40 for the rematch. I think he's got a point to prove. He's going to be more aggressive. And he's going to set up traps and he's going to put it on Usyk this time. But I won't be surprised if Usyk wins as well, though. Fury's not 100%, 10%. Can't wait. All right, guys. For that, I'm out. Have a great bank holiday. And what a time to be alive in the heavyweight boxing scene. All right, guys. Let's see who the fighter, the best heavyweight the generation is in November. All right, guys. I'm out. See you later.